All right. So in light of...
There's a request for lighting.
I know. Thank you. Because in light of what we've been talking about, and because of what's been brought up tonight and now is a part of our minutes, I would also like to pass out a letter to the board that I would like to have attached to the minutes tonight that is in reflection of what took place at our last board meeting. And I feel like it's important, that this is read. On March 18, 2014, during an open meeting portion of the board's study session, Board Member Clara made numerous personally offensive and defamatory comments about Superintendent Michael Withers and Business Administrator Jenna Roberts. While this statement is in direct response to those remarks, we recognize that Mr. Clara has made similar pronouncements in other meetings that have, up until this point, gone unchallenged. Given Mr. Clara's accusations, we feel the superintendent and business administrator are entitled to a public apology from the board and clear evidence of the board's support for their overall leadership. As a board, we agreed to abide by our statement of ethics, which includes the following. I will treat fellow board members, district staff, and members of the public with respect and consideration through civil discourse, exhibiting both honesty and decorum, whether we agree or disagree on issues. Board Member Clara exhibited disregard for the board's commitment to civil discourse and disrespect for the superintendent and business administrator. Moreover, Mr. Clara showed contempt for the board's adopted parliamentary procedures when he failed to heed the board chair's repeated request to cease his invective, which was in no way related to the agenda item being discussed by the board. His comments offended Dr. Withers, Ms. Roberts, other board members, and district employees attending the meeting. For more than a decade, the superintendent and business administrator have demonstrated collaborative leadership, a focus on problem solving, and a genuine commitment to protecting and expanding opportunities for both students and employees. Over the past year, Mr. Clara's actions have unjustly maligned Dr. Withers and Ms. Roberts and tarnished the reputation of the board and the district as a whole. For these reasons, we offer Dr. Withers and Ms. Roberts our sincere apology and reaffirm our support for their leadership of this district. Heather and I have signed this. If anybody else would like to sign it, that is your prerogative if you would like to. But I would also like to have that attached to our minutes tonight.
We have the original here.
We have the original here. All right.
Chrissy, can I just say too? You see, this is my concern is that you guys can do this. It's not on the agenda, but you put this on here. But you, at the same time, you don't want to document, or the majority of the board doesn't want to document what my words were that would clarify what this document is saying. And this isn't the first time you guys have written stuff about me, right? Like the legislature and things.
Absolutely not.
To the Speaker of the House, you guys didn't write a letter saying that.
We wrote one letter in response to many letters that you have written. And I think that I'm certainly, at this point, I know that you feel like, what you will say, as you did just a few minutes ago, that you feel undermined or marginalized. And I think that what this letter is saying is that we have allowed that to happen to all of us over the past, whether it's been in the print, whether it's been on your blog, whatever it's been. And we've just decided that, we need to start pointing out that, what happened a couple of weeks ago, was just, I'm sorry, it was beyond what we could tolerate.
Well, let me just say that I think because we have philosophical differences, I feel that I'm here representing my neighbors and taxpayers.
And all of us are.
Right, and
all of us are here doing the same thing.
Well, apparently we're going to make you feel differently. It's just like, I don't feel an obligation to protect the bureaucracy. Like today, doing this big production to have, people here.
That was not a production.
Can I finish?
Sure, I'm sorry. I apologize. Go ahead.
Clearly, employees of his are going to come. I got calls today that they felt they were compelled to come. And that they came to show their support for him because he's the employer, so they don't have much of a choice. But I just want to point out, I can take the insults and absorb them because my obligation, is to my neighbors and to the taxpayers in my community, and that's why I say what I say and do what I do.
And I
if you
appreciate-
guys want to feel that you got to protect the superintendent and the bureaucracy, then I think that's where the source of friction is between us.
Well, and I appreciate you saying that, but for me personally, you know, I am also an elected official. I'm also protecting my constituents. My taxpayers are the same taxpayers. You know, so I think that,
And they'll sort that out with us in our
okay, Michael, no,
reelection.
wait, okay. Let me finish.
Oh, I thought you were done. You weren't saying anything.
Okay.
Oh.
That,
Except you started before I.
that's right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to say that my interest is in protecting the interests of the school children in our district. That's my primary interest. And I don't see that any of this helps them in any way. So my secondary interest is in the taxpayers of the district. And I don't see how this helps them in any way. So that may be the philosophical difference.
That-
This is politics. I'm the dad of a school kid in the district. And I want to serve on this body to maximize educational opportunities for kids. You are a much better politician than anyone else up here. I have not been a mayor of a town when I was in my 20s. I have not served on a state political party central committee. I have not been a precinct chair, a legislative chair, and a region chair of a local political party. You are a masterful politician, but as you engage in politics, you keep distracting the board from school children, from helping teachers deliver education. And that is the issue that you do not seem to see, and it's an amazing pattern of, I got a phone call about this, and so I need to accuse someone of something else. The ABCs are not accuse, blame, and criticize. It's working together with those two people and the teachers to improve school children. What we can deliver to school children. So much of what you engage in on the board is politics, and I think that hurts school children, even if what you are doing is legal and allowed by state law. So we can have a large discussion about what documents are being attached to the minutes, and is the attachment of the documents going to be mentioned in the minutes? This is just politics. I don't know if one day you'll be running for other office. I don't know if this is a stepping stone for you, but you're hurting children and the school district by continually steering the focus of the board towards politics and not school children, as much as you try to spin it the other way. So that is why I tend to object to all these detours away from educating school children. I see what you're trying to do, and you espouse noble causes. But, from day one, trying to change either precinct to district or district to precinct, or, the OCR complaints and the Boy Scouts and this and that, it just detracts from trying to deliver education to school children. None of those efforts on your part are wrong. They're just not what we're here to discuss, and that's not the burning desire we have when we're on the Board of Education to improve education and help the teachers deliver it. So I am not saying that you are wrong in wanting to do those things, but an awful lot of them are just politics. And this whole discussion tonight about minutes, how does this affect education and the delivery of education in underfunded schools where teachers are doing the very best they can to try to give our kids what they need?
Okay, so I think we need to, Laura, let's have a last comment, and we need to move on to the last item on our action agenda.
I would just like to say, Michael, I appreciated you say that you are a part of this board. You are a part of this board. You are a 1/7. And we appreciate all of our board members. But my concern is even broader, and it's the financial, fiscal irresponsibility that you have cost us and taken away from our students. And I think it's big. It's in the six figures at least. And I resent that as being a taxpayer and as being a parent in the district.
Chrissy, can I respond?
You know, can we wrap it up, please?
Yes, I'd like to respond though. I mean,
All right,
you
go ahead.
can throw accusations at me, I should have a chance to respond.
I would like us to move on, but go ahead.
Well, I just want to say that I agree changes do need to be made on the board. And so I recognize that, that they're upset with me trying to make changes on the board, but I'm not operating in a vacuum either. My representative voice here is in response to teachers, principals, and parents and the issues that are facing my community. I'm not making up the issues or I'm just responding and wanting to make change, and it's difficult to do that in the makeup of this board when the interest is to protect the superintendent and not the students. So that's what I believe again is the source of our frustration.
All right, so
I've been insulted yet again.
I've once
Can we move
again
on?
been offended. So all right, let's move on to our last item that is on our action agenda, which Mr. Clara, you asked to have pulled off.
It was.
I'm sorry. Let me find the title.